Lin Dong. Although the commander let us give Jian Wushuang more chances to practice, it'll be too hard for him to fight Universe Master Bei. Mou looked at Lin Dong and said, Universe Master Bei is the first universe god in Redwater Alliance. Based on his strength, only you, the top divine general in Scarlet Island, are able to defeat him. Jian Wushuang just left his hometown and hasn't got enough experience to battle with invincible universe masters. It's a joke for him to fight Universe Master Bei. Isn't that even better? Lin Dong laughed. He just left his hometown and hasn't met any ideal opponents. Now he is too proud, so I want to teach him a lesson. In the eternal chaotic world, there are thousands of experts. When we just got here, the commander also challenged us a lot. Didn't he? That's true. Mou nodded. In this case, let him learn a lesson first, but we need to be cautious. If he can't keep up, then we need to take the action. Otherwise, if he is killed by Universe Master Bei, we will be in a big trouble. Don't worry. Everything is under control. Lin Dong was very confident. While Lin Dong and Mou were supervising, Jian Wushuang flew into the city. Invincible Universe Master. Jian Wushuang stared at Universe Master Bei, who was in the battle. His eyes turned cold. Lin Dong is right. Before, when I stayed in the Green Fire world, although I fought the experts from the Gene Kingdom, I indeed lacked killing experience. It's time for me to practice. Although Universe Master Bei is a universe master, his sledgehammer skills and unique skills are barely acceptable for me to practice my swordsmanship. Jian Wushuang made a decision in his mind. He would conceal his strength and only rely on his swordsmanship in the fierce battle. When it was the right moment, then he would quickly kill him. In an instant, Jian Wushuang showed up in the center of the battlefield. The bastard from Scarlet Island. Go to hell! Universe Master Bei's eyes were scarlet, and his face looked evil and horrible. His scarlet sledgehammer madly smashed out. Many Universe Master around him were already dead. When Jian Wushuang appeared, he did not even pay attention and smashed his hammer towards him. Humph! Jian Wushuang snorted and exploded with Universe Master power, waving his Blood Mountain sword. Without any swordsmanship, the sword collided with the sledgehammer. Snap! Following the explosion, a scarlet thunderbolt shot out from his sledgehammer. It flew to a pavilion, and the pavilion was smashed to pieces instantly. After retreating for dozens of meters, Universe Master Bei raised his head and looked at Jian Wushuang. Invincible Universe Master. You are the Divine General from Scarlet Island? Universe Master Bei stared at Jian Wushuang with his cold eyes and groaned. There are 6 Divine Generals in the Scarlet Island, but I haven't met you. Who are you? Jian Wushuang, the 7th Divine General in the Scarlet Island. Jian Wushuang answered. The 7th Divine General? Universe Master Bei instantly realized that Jian Wushuang had just become a Divine General. He was furious and roared. A new Divine General who dares to challenge me alone is asking for death. As his voice died, Universe Master Bei suddenly stepped out. Unlike when he was killing the sergeants, Universe Master Bei exploited his full strength when he realized Jian Wushuang was an invincible Universe Master. Grand aura emitted from his body, full of endless killing. It turned to a dark cloud and enveloped Jian Wushuang. The oppressive force was absolutely enough to make an ordinary Universe Master feel scared. Even a peak Universe Master would feel terrified. However, when Jian Wushuang was under this pressure, he looked calm. When Universe Master Bei was coming towards him, he immediately joined the battle. Little kid, go to hell. Universe Master Bei was full of killing intent, and his scarlet sledgehammer turned to a scarlet thunderbolt. The scarlet thunderbolt flew through the void and appeared in front of Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang waved, and then his Blood Mountain sword turned into a beam of flowing light. Clang! These 2 attacks collided, and an anti-shock force was sent to Jian Wushuang, forcing him to frown. This Universe Master Bei is quite strong. Jian Wushuang chuckled inwardly, but his power then skyrocketed, and he exploded with power. 10%. Jian Wushuang owned the inverse cultivation of combining 3 strongest sword principles. Also, he was the 4-star peak ancient god from the Imperial Kinsman. Without using the blood-killing plate armor, his strength could already compete with the ordinary universe gods. Even only using 10% of his strength still made him slightly better than invincible universe masters. Bang! His swordsmanship exploded. Universe Master Bei was still very arrogant. His scarlet sledgehammer turned into lightning and started the attack again. These two people were having the war in this city. The strong power flew out and terrified the sergeants and experts. Soon they all ran away. Outside the city, Lin Dong and Mou, who had been waiting there, were shocked when they witnessed this. Didn't he just leave his hometown? Didn't he have no experience in battling with invincible universe masters? Mou was stunned. She knew how strong the universe master Bei was. Ordinary universe master were not match for him. Not even her. But now, Jian Wushuang is able to fight universe master Bei? Lin Dong frowned. Universe Master Bei's power is far stronger than an ordinary invincible universe master's. How is Jian Wushuang able to confront him? Lin Dong had fought Universe Master Bei before, and he was only slightly better than Universe Master Bei. However, he had used his speed and skill to win. Universe Master Bei was good at strength, and Lin Dong knew he was not as good as his, but now Jian Wushuang dared to confront him and still was not defeated? In the battlefield, Jian Wushuang and Universe Master Bei had a half-hour fierce battle with no sign of defeat. Jian Wushuang also noticed that the Universe Master Bei was already exploiting his full strength. He has done the best, but still can't force me to use more strength? Jian Wushuang shook his head. The game is over. Jian Wushuang started another attack. Wang! A raging wind carrying dense sword shadows blew violently to Universe Master Bei. Spell of disturbance. As a light of killing intent flashed in Jian Wushuang's eyes, the sword lights covered Universe Master Bei with an overwhelming soul attack behind each of the light. If Jian Wushuang only used 1/10 of his power in the move, Universe Master Bei might be able to withstand the attack. However, Jian Wushuang's move was a perfect combination of spell of disturbance and soul attack. The moment the sword light flashed, the soul attack behind it crushed to Universe Master Bei. As a Universe Master, he could barely take it and immediately gave up struggling. Covered by the countless sword shadows, he was crumbled into pieces before he could even let out a scream. As the soul attack had made no sound, the onlookers all thought that Universe Master Bei was killed by Jian Wushuang's swordsmanship. Losing their leader, the remaining experts of the Red Water Alliance in that city lost their morale and was eradicated by the soldiers of the 7th Army in a short while. After killing Universe Master Bei, Jian Wushuang returned to the void outside the city. Gentlemen, I didn't let you down. Jian Wushuang's voice was loud and clear. Lin Dong and Mou looked at Jian Wushuang with a strange expression. Before, when Jian Wushuang and Universe Master Bei were equally matched, it had surprised them. Now, they were even more surprised that Jian Wushuang actually managed to kill the master. Universe Master Bei is so powerful that though I can defeat him by a neck, it will take me a lot of effort to kill him. However, you have just killed him on your own. Lin Dong squinted his eyes. I was lucky. I had fought with him hard on hard at first, but later I changed my strategy. I improved my speed to the extreme and therefore launched an unexpected attack. Universe Master Bei could barely dodge it and was killed. Jian Wushuang answered with a smile. Is that so? Lin Dong and Mou exchanged a glance at each other. They all thought that there was something fishy about Universe Master Bei's death. Otherwise, that master should not have been suddenly killed in a close fight. They nodded at Jian Wushuang's explanation but were full of doubt in fact. Now, since Universe Master Bei was dead, the only leader of the Red Water Alliance will be their young master, Gu Nan. Though he is a Universe Master as well, he is no match for even Universe Master Bei. As long as he dares to show up, any of us three can kill him. Lin Dong sneered. Jian Wushuang and Mou also showed a smile at the words. In less than half a day, the sergeants of the 7th Army wiped off all the remaining experts of the Red Water Alliance in the city. After that, Jian Wushuang and other 2 divine generals led the 7th Army to the 2nd city under the control of the Red Water Alliance. With the fall of the universe gods, the Red Water Alliance existed in name only, and its power was crumbled. Many universe masters and holy masters withdrew from the alliance, leaving it with only a few loyal men. Led by Universe Master Bei, those loyal people had fought against the 7th Army in the first city. Now, without that master, they could barely organize another resistance again. Therefore, they would be easily eliminated. In fact, it only took Jian Wushuang and his army no more than 2 hours to wipe off all the remaining experts of the Redwater Alliance in the second city and set off again. 3 months passed in the blink of an eye. The headquarters of the Redwater Alliance was in a city named Redwater City, the core place of the Alliance. At that moment, in a hidden underground palace in the Redwater City, 2 figures sat together chatting. Just in 3 months, the Scarlet Island had swept over the cities under our control. This city, the last city they yet to come. During those days, few of our Universe Masters and Holy Masters survived their massacre. Even Universe Master Bei was killed by them. Bastard! Bastard! Damn the Scarlet Island! One of the 2 figures was a young man dressed in a luxurious golden robe. He clenched his hands and snarled in a rage with a grave expression. His handsome face was twisted with hatred. Alas! On hearing the young man's roars, the other man, a humpbacked, black-robed elder, sighed before saying, "The Scarlet Island is so powerful that none could contend with it in our region except for the Dayu Palace, Golden Sun Sect, and Holy Prefecture. Our alliance is too weak when compared with it. We shouldn't have combated with it for benefits before. We shouldn't." The elder kept shaking his head as he spoke. "There is no use for us to regret now." The young man shouted in a low voice, "You're right." The black-robed elder looked at the young man and continued, "Young master, we should leave the Dayu region as soon as possible. I have everything prepared for us in the somewhere else." "Leave?" The young man trembled and asked, "Elderly, are we really going to leave here? The Dayu region has no place for us now. We have to go, and even if we leave, it will be lucky if the Scarlet Island won't hunt us where we go." The elder answered, "Scarlet Island." The young man's eyes became chilling. "All right, I'll leave with you but not in secret. I'll have the Redwater Alliance pay for what they have done." "Young master, what do you mean?" The elder looked at the young man. "The Scarlet Island has 3 divine generals in the army against us this time, right?" The young said with a cold smile. "Lin Dong and Mo, you have stayed in the Scarlet Island for many years and won a big fame. As for Jian Wushuang, who has emerged recently, he may be less famous but is powerful enough to have killed Universe Master Bei alone. If we can kill them 3, it will be a great loss even to the Scarlet Island. After all, divine generals are fewer than the universe gods here." "Young master, you want to kill those 3 divine generals?" The elder frowned. "Right?" The young man nodded with a cold face. "And I'll need your help. I want you to kill them in person. After you succeed, we'll leave here before the Scarlet Island could react. By then, they won't be able to even lay a finger on us." Upon hearing this, the elder pondered for a moment before heavily nodding his head with his eyes sparkling. This elder, in fact, was a universe god. Jian Wushuang, Lin Dong, Mou, the 3 divine generals, and the sergeants of the 7th Army were gathered in the void outside the Redwater City. They all surveyed the giant city in front of them. Redwater City is the last city still controlled by the Redwater Alliance, whose headquarters is also in this city. Lord had led many universe gods to wipe off all the experts of the Alliance in this city before. However, as we conquered other cities of the Alliance, the refugees all escaped to this city. "It looks that they want to have a final fight with us here," Mou said with a smile. "The last fight? Hump, it will be futile." Lin Dong snorted. "Guys, do you think whether the young master of the Redwater Alliance is in this city or not?" Jian Wushuang asked with a smile. It had been 3 months since they worked together, plus that Jian Wushuang had gained Lin Dong's and Mo Yu's recognition. The relationship between the 3 was closer than before. "Are you referring to Gu Nan?" Lin Dong looked over with a cold smile on the corner of his mouth. "The last time when Lord attacked this city, Gu Nan was lucky. He was not in the city. Otherwise, he would have been killed. Now, the Redwater Alliance is going to fall, and his title as the young master exists in name only. If I were him, I would have fled away to other regions. Waiting here is just courting for death. Indeed. Jian Wushuang raised his brows. Not being a fool, Gu Nan should have left the city if he did not have absolute confidence in winning the battle, because he was just a normal, invincible universe master who had a duty to revive the Redwater Alliance. Well, let's stop talking and get into the city to kill all the remaining experts of the Redwater Alliance. Complete this mission, and we can have a celebration party after we return back. Lin Dong smiled when speaking. The 7th Army. Let's fight. Jian Wushuang immediately ordered the soldiers of the 7th Army. Taking the order, the soldiers immediately swarmed into the city. Jian Wushuang, this is the last battle in our mission. Are you going to practice your skill as before? Mou asked Jian Wushuang with interest. Well, Jian Wushuang showed an embarrassed smile and replied, I'll decide when I meet a proper opponent. Mou and Lin Dong looked at each other, smiling, wordless. Have been staying with Jian Wushuang for 3 months. They knew how crazy Jian Wushuang was about cultivating. Yes, crazy. During the last 3 months, they had experienced many battles as they conquered cities of the Redwater Alliance one after another, and normally, because there had been none invincible universe masters among their opponents, they, as divine generals, could have stood by and watched the soldiers fight. However, Jian Wushuang could not hold his fight intent and had joined soldiers to fight. Moreover, Jian Wushuang had not tried to overpower those universe masters and holy masters of their rival camp as Lin Dong and Mou had expected. He had restrained his power while fighting with his opponents to practice his swordsmanship. All the opponents Jian Wushuang had picked were the experts with excellent fighting skills and brilliant moves, and some of them even had impressed him much. During that period, Jian Wushuang had over 100 fights, and each of them was not ended until he thought he had practiced enough. He could have killed those opponents easily, but as if he was making fun of them, he had restrained his power all the time. At first, Lin Dong and Mou was confused by his actions. However, as Jian Wushuang had fought more and more, they figured out his intention. Jian Wushuang had been trying to practice his swordsmanship, not making fun of his opponents. No matter how weak his opponents were, Jian Wushuang seized every opportunity to train himself with those people. He is crazy. Yes. A crazy man who won't let go of any chance to improve his power. The longer Lin Dong and Mou had been with Jian Wushuang, the more they thought that Jian Wushuang's power was not as simple as they could see. They started taking this young divine general who had just left his hometown and cultivated less than 10,000 years even more seriously. As they stayed outside the city with Jian Wushuang, suddenly, Scarlet Island! A loud roar resounded throughout the city like a thunder, shaking the place. Then, a young man wearing a luxurious golden robe rushed out of the city, with a group of experts of the Redwater Alliance following him. He is Gu Nan, the young master of the Redwater Alliance? Jian Wushuang, Lin Dong, and Mou all looked surprised seeing the young man. They had just thought that this young master could not be in the city. But now, haha! This young master is courting death. Lin Dong immediately laughed. Is him so stupid? Jian Wushuang was amused. Let's go to meet with this young leader. Mou also smiled. The 3 divine generals all rushed into the Redwater City. When the 3 entered the city, Jian Wushuang's expression slightly changed. Guys, I'm afraid we are in trouble, he suddenly said. In trouble? Why? Lin Dong and Mou looked confused. Jian Wushuang did not explain to them further. His soul power had targeted an aura hidden deep beneath them. The owner of the aura had hidden very well that Lin Dong and Mou could not sense him, but it was hard to cheat Jian Wushuang, who had soul fire. Are the 3 of you the divine generals of the Scarlet Island? The voice of anger came from the young master Gu Nan, who came up to the 3 divine generals, eyes full of hatred. Gu Nan, you know that we will come here to kill you. It's courageous of you not to escape. Lin Dong's voice sounded cold as well. Escape? Gu Nan said with a sneer. Yes, I am going to escape, to somewhere beyond your reach, even somewhere out of the Dayu region. But before that, I have to kill the 3 of you to have the Scarlet Island pay for what they have done to our alliance. Kill us 3? On your own. Lin Dong looked disdainful. Right then, with the soul power, Jian Wushuang felt that the aura hidden in the ground rose up sharply. Lin Dong Mou, step back. Jian Wushuang shouted hurriedly. Why? Lin Dong and Mou were startled, but they still subconsciously drew a few steps backward. Just as the three drew back, a black flowing light flashed where the three had just stood. The light was so powerful that perhaps Jian Wushuang could protect himself with his blood-killing armor, but if Lin Dong and Mou got hit by it, they would definitely be killed. Swish! A black figure appeared where the three had just stood. It was a black-robed elder with a rolling aura, radiating a faint divine power. The elder had cold eyes. He is a universe god? Lin Dong and Mou were both shocked. Universe gods were those who had experienced a god test to become a god. They were top experts. Jian Wushuang and the other two generals were invincible universe masters with unparalleled battle strength in their realm, but they were no match for a universe god. How could it be possible? Haven't all the universe gods in the Red Water Alliance been killed? Why, there is another one. As two powerful divine generals, Lin Dong and Mou, however, looked horrified at that moment. Gunan, standing behind the elder, smirked while speaking. Elderly, kill them three. Be assured, young master, none of them can escape from me today. As the elder's chilling voice fell, a divine power started running inside his body. He neared Jian Wushuang and the two generals through the void like a black flowing light. The black scimitar in his hand gleamed with a terrifying light. Run! Quick, run! Lin Dong and Mou headed away, running without thinking. They had become the divine generals for so long that they had seen many battles between universe gods and therefore knew very well how powerful the universe gods were. They were no match for the elder even if they joined their hands. Run! 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 Lin Dong and Mou started running desperately, and at the same time, they also noticed that Jian Wushuang remained standing where he was. Jian Wushuang, what are you doing? Run quickly! Mou shouted at him. Jian Wushuang, are you insane? Lin Dong also yelled at him anxiously. When they saw that Jian Wushuang remained indifferent towards their warns, Lin Dong could not help but shake his head. Alas, he is too shallow, too proud, and too confident. That elder is a universe god. Does he think that he can battle a universe god? He has just arrived here without encountering any universe god before. He knows nothing about their power. Mou also sighed. All right, we have already reminded him, but since he is courting death himself, we are not the one that he should blame. We can't even protect ourselves now, let alone to save him. Lin Dong and Mou kept running madly to the outside of the city. As for Jian Wushuang, they were incapable of helping him. They did not know that when Jian Wushuang saw that universe god, he was not surprised or afraid but excited. Universe god! He looked at the elder with frenzied eyes. He had only battled two universe gods yet, Universe God Chen and the monarch of the Jin Kingdom. He had fought with the former in a very friendly way, practicing his swordsmanship. Therefore, he actually battled only the later. Now, the black-robed elder standing in front of him was his second opponent as a universe god. The elder is in the first heaven. Who is the stronger one among him and the monarch? With a smile, Jian Wushuang held the Blood Mountain sword in his hand and charged at the elder. Seeing his move, the onlookers all thought Jian Wushuang mad. As a universe master, he did not escape from but choose to challenge a universe god. Wasn't he mad? The elder was amazed as others, but the next moment, his eyes turned cold. You want to sacrifice yourself to protect your partners? Well, you're a loyal friend yet a fool. Since you want to die, I grant your wish, the elder shouted, and his black saber struck out in a strange way, cutting the void open. A black light appeared in front of Jian Wushuang. Facing a universe god, Jian Wushuang became extremely cautious, and he dared not to restrain his power anymore like battling Universe Master Bei before. He used 8/10 of his power to attack. It was a strike as powerful as the one from the elementary universe gods in the first heaven. As for swordsmanship, he randomly displayed one. This strike was meant to test the elder's power. However, when his sword met with the elder's saber, Jian Wushuang was dumbfounded. The elder's attack was crumbled by his causal strike, and even the elder was thrown far away under the force before regaining his balance. How could this be possible? Jian Wushuang paused in the void, staring at the elder with a frown. I only used 80% of my power in the just casual move, but still I overpowered him. Is he really a universe god? Jian Wushuang could not believe what had happened. Could a universe god be so weak? Ha! Gu King, which parasitized in Jian Wushuang's body, suddenly laughed and said, Jian Wushuang, don't be so surprised. It is normal for you to suppress him. Why? Jian Wushuang asked. Simple, because this person has just passed the god test to become a universe god, and his power has not been completely transformed into divine power. Therefore, he is not a real universe god as those we have normally known. It's true he is more powerful than the universe masters, but he is no match for the real universe gods like the monarch of the Gold Kingdom. 80% of your power can surpass all his power, let alone that your Blood Mountain sword is much superior to his weapon. Therefore, shouldn't it be natural that you can overpower him? Gu King explained in a laughing voice. Is that so? Jian Wushuang finally understood the reason. Gu King's words reminded him that it would take a universe god some time to transform his power after he passed the god test. This black-robed elder obviously had passed the test not long enough to transform all his power yet. Such a universe god was not a real god. The Scarlet Island is excellent in collecting intelligence in the Dayu region, but as the elder just passed the god test not long ago, no wonder the island doesn't know him. Jian Wushuang showed a faint smile. Jian Wushuang was surprised by the elder's lack of strength. On the other hand, the elder had a look of total disbelief on his face. How could this happen? I've passed the god test only recently, and even though it was not long enough to enable me to transform all my powers into divine power, I should still be much more powerful than ordinary universe masters. How could this kid overpower me? The elder stared at Jian Wushuang coldly. Kid, go to hell. The elder turned into a flowing stream of light and charged directly at Jian Wushuang. This time, he exerted all his transformed divine power to the extreme and displayed a unique skill with his black saber. Whoosh! A black shadow in the shape of a saber which covered half of the void appeared and slashed at Jian Wushuang. The saber shadow had not reached Jian Wushuang yet, but its powerful saber essence could be felt as it swept over the area. When he saw the saber shadow, Jian Wushuang frowned. This was because, in his eyes, this strike was too weak. It's indeed a unique move, but it's lacking in power. Jian Wushuang's eyes were icy. A universe god who has just passed the god test and whose power has just started to transform into divine power. Even his unique skill is weak. Jian Wushuang secretly shook his head, wanting to end the fight quickly. Whoosh! His sword essence shot into the air, filled with a dazzling light of hope and life. He struck out with his sword, using all his power and might. He displayed his unique skill, Nirvana. Boom! The terrifying sword light immediately reduced the saber shadow to pieces. It continued to flash and engulfed the elder totally. Impossible! The elder let out a desperate scream before he was overwhelmed by the sword light and was killed. The universe god who had terrified everyone who was present. Even Lin Dong and Mo you were trying to escape from him, had just been killed by Jian Wushuang. Silence. The entire Red Water City was in utter silence. The people who were fighting all over the city paused and watched incredulously at the scene before their eyes. The young master of Red Water Alliance, Gu Nan, was stunned. After killing the elder, Jian Wushuang paused for a moment in the void. He frowned as he gazed at the elder's fragmented body and had a serious expression on his face. He roared silently in his mind. Weak. Too weak. I just exerted the power of the first step of the blood-killing plate armor and managed to kill him so easily. I still have so many skills to display, and I did not even use the power of the second step of the blood-killing armor. This universe god turned out to be a disappointing opponent. Disappointing. When he first encountered the elder, Jian Wushuang had hoped that the elder would be the first person who could bring out his best fighting ability after he came to the eternal chaotic world. However, he was disappointed at the elder's power or lack of it. Even the monarch of Jin Kingdom could have killed the elder without any effort, let alone Jian Wushuang, who was the one who had killed the monarch. Few universe gods in the eternal chaotic world are as weak as this elder. Given that a whole lot of power is required to pass the god test, weak as the elder was, he must have had someone help him to pass it. Gu Qing's voice suddenly echoed in his mind. Had someone help him? Can a person help another to pass the god test? Jian Wushuang frowned. Of course, in the case of some small god test, but a price must be paid. Don't think about it, Jian Wushuang. As an inverse cultivator, you can only rely on yourself to pass your inverse cultivation test, said Gu Qing. For a moment, Jian Wushuang was speechless. What the king said was true. The black-robed elder was very lucky. It was Gu Nan's father, the master of Red Water Alliance, who had helped him pass the universe god. In return, the elder had stood by the alliance when it was in danger. He had supported Gu Nan out of his gratitude and loyalty to the master. Unfortunately, he had encountered Jian Wushuang. As a result, he was dead. Jian Wushuang thought it a pity that the elder was not a worthwhile opponent. But what happened had happened. Next, the young master of Red Water Alliance. Jian Wushuang looked at Gu Nan with an imperceptible smile. This. At that moment, Gu Nan was frightened out of his wits. He stood there for some time, unable to utter a single word. His plan was to let the elder kill the 3 divine generals after drawing them into the city. He could not believe that it had failed and that his last supporter, Elder Li, had also been killed. A universe master killing the elder on his own? It must be a joke. Without a word, Jian Wushuang drew closer to Gu Nan in an instant. An icy sword light flashed in the air as a soul attack broke into Gu Nan's consciousness. Gu Nan immediately felt dazed. But before he could react, Jian Wushuang's sword pierced through his head. The deaths of Elder Li and Gu Nan, especially the way Jian Wushuang had killed the elder, shattered the confidence of the remaining experts of Red Water Alliance so greatly that the 7th Army did not meet much resistance from them. They were all slain in a short while. Lin Dong and Mou, who had fled from the city, returned to the void above the city and came up to Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang. Lin Dong and Mou stared at Jian Wushuang in amazement. At first, when they ran away from the elder and failed to get Jian Wushuang to join them, they had thought he was too arrogant and proud. However, now Jian Wushuang had killed that elder. A universe master killing a universe god? If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would never have believed it. What's the matter with you two? Jian Wushuang looked at Lin Dong and Mou with a smile. The two of them remained in deep shock for some time. Lin Dong finally spoke after a long while. Jian Wushuang, you killed a universe god. I killed a universe god? Jian Wushuang shook his head and continued with a smile. No, that elder has just passed the god test and has yet to transform all his powers. His skills are very common, so he is not much stronger than the invincible universe masters. But still, he is more powerful than us, and yet you managed to kill him. Lin Dong's eyes were wide open, staring at him in amazement. I had some chances to gain a stronger power than the ordinary universe masters, so my skills are better than his. With a bit of luck, I managed to kill him. Jian Wushuang answered. After hearing that, Lin Dong and Mou began looking at Jian Wushuang in a different way. Especially Lin Dong. He had taken Jian Wushuang to be a weakling, since he knew that Jian Wushuang had just left his hometown and was a new arrival to this region. Even when Jian Wushuang managed to kill Universe Master Bei, who was a powerful invincible Universe Master, he still thought that Jian Wushuang's power was only average. He regarded himself as more powerful than Jian Wushuang, who, however, had now killed a universe god. Despite that the elder was weaker than other universe gods, he was still a universe god. We have flushed out all the enemies in the last city and killed young Master Gu Nan. Our mission is complete. It's time to go back. Jian Wushuang changed the topic with a smile. Yes, it's time to go back. We finally finished this boring task. Both Lin Dong and Mou had smiles on their faces. After wiping out all the remaining experts of Red Water Alliance in the city, the 3 divine generals led the 7th Army back to their camp. After their return, the 3 went to meet their commander. Jian Wushuang. Lin Dong suddenly called Jian Wushuang's name and said, "Many sergeants have witnessed our performance during the mission. Therefore, I have to report everything that has happened to the commander, including your killing of Universe Master Bei and that elder. You'd better be prepared in case the commander will question you about that." "Understood, thanks." Jian Wushuang nodded. He also knew that it was impossible for him to keep the happenings during the mission a secret from Commander Man Yi. Soon, the three entered the palace and met with Commander Man Yi. Lin Dong simply reported everything that had happened during the mission to him. When he heard the report, the commander, who was sitting on a throne, looked toward Jian Wushuang. "Jian Wushuang, you killed a universe god by yourself?" The commander ignored the fact that Jian Wushuang had also killed Universe Master Bei. "Yes, I did." Jian Wushuang gave a slight nod. "You two can leave now." The commander waved his hand at Lin Dong and Mou while giving the order. "Yes." Lin Dong and Mou nodded respectfully at the commander. When they left, they could not help glancing at Jian Wushuang. Soon, there were only Jian Wushuang and the commander in the palace. The commander sat on the throne, towering above him like a brown bear, his eyes fixed intently on Jian Wushuang. As a universe god, even though that elder had not completely transformed his power into divine power, a universe master would still not be his match. "However, you managed to kill him. You really surprised me, Jian Wushuang." The commander praised him. "Commander, I am—" Jian Wushuang could barely finish his speech when the commander interrupted him. "Don't tell me you were just lucky." The commander said while waving his hand, "If with a bit of luck, a universe master can kill a universe god, all the universe gods in the Daiyu region would have been killed a time long ago. There must be some reasons behind your killing him, but don't worry, everyone has their secrets. I won't dig deeper into this matter. After all, the more powerful you are, the more it will benefit us." Jian Wushuang was speechless. "For my next question, you must answer me truthfully." The commander suddenly continued. "Of course I will," Jian Wushuang replied humbly. "Since you have killed a universe god who has just passed the god test, you should be as powerful as the normal universe gods in the first heaven. If I tell you to go and battle a real universe god in that realm, are you confident enough to defeat him?" The commander asked. "Battle a universe god in the first heaven?" Jian Wushuang frowned and asked, "There are several kinds of universe gods. What kind of universe gods are you referring to, Commander?" "An elementary one in the first heaven." The commander answered casually. "Yes, I am," Jian Wushuang replied. "You're so confident." The commander shot an amazed glance at Jian Wushuang before he continued. "What if it is an advanced universe god in the first heaven? I can give it a try." Jian Wushuang answered. "Haha, that's great." The commander laughed and said, "Jian Wushuang, I asked you this because I need a universe god to deal with an urgent matter for me now. Are you referring to that matter, Commander?" Jian Wushuang furrowed his eyebrows. "Yes." The commander nodded and started to explain. "The thing is that on the vast Nine-Star Sea, our frontier area, there are always battles between us and the Golden Sun sect, Holy Prefecture, and other forces. For benefits. Not long ago, we, together with the Shou Kingdom, found an island on the Nine-Star Sea, where the leopard print gem mine was buried in it. We fought fiercely for it. At last, we won the battle and took over the island. Although the island is under our control now, Shou Kingdom will not give up trying to seize it back. Therefore, Universe God Chen Luan sent me a message to place another person to guard the island with her, until all the gems are extracted. So, is that what the matter is all about?" Jian Wushuang finally confirmed what the matter was about. He knew that the Shou Kingdom was as powerful as what Red Water Alliance used to be. With Holy Prefecture's support, the kingdom was not afraid of offending Scarlet Island. Universe God Chen Luan wants someone there to help her, but the other universe gods on the Nine-Star Sea have their own affairs to attend to, and it will be too late if I dispatch a universe god there from our headquarters. Before considering sending you there, I had planned to send the first divine general there. Although he would not be a match for a universe god, he can defeat some of the weaker ones. Now, it seems that you are obviously more suited for this mission than he. the commander stated. This is the island where Universe God Chen Luan is at now. We call it Leopard Print Island. Go prepare yourself and set off as soon as possible, said the commander. Understood, Commander, Jian Wushuang replied. Then he left quickly. Seeing Jian Wushuang walking out, Lin Dong and Mou, who had been waiting outside, immediately came up to him. How did it go, Jian Wushuang? What did the commander say? Lin Dong asked Jian Wushuang. The commander just asked me a few questions, and he gave me another mission which requires me to set off as soon as possible. Jian Wushuang chatted with Lin Dong and Mou while walking. Another mission? Both Lin Dong and Mou had odd expressions on their faces. The former spoke in a pitying tone. I plan to hold a welcoming feast for you, for joining us and also to celebrate our completed mission. But now, it seems you are going to leave us soon? We can hold it sometime later. Jian Wushuang smiled. The three men continued chatting for a while in the camp before Jian Wushuang set off to Leopard Print Island. He did not have to make any preparations. But just as he was ready to leave, Wang, an overbearing force oppressed him, followed by a figure that approached him speedily from a distance. Soon the figure appeared in front of the trio. Who is it? Jian Wushuang looked at the newcomer with a frown. It's him. Lin Dong and Mou both looked surprised. The newcomer wore a green robe, had a thin mustache and a swarthy complexion. He had a savage look about him. After he appeared, he glanced at the three and finally, his eyes landed on Jian Wushuang. Are you the seventh divine general, Jian Wushuang? His loud voice resounded throughout the camp and an uproar broke out immediately. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Soldiers rushed toward the three from all directions after hearing the commotion, including some sergeants and divine generals. It is him, Hong Shou, the first divine general. He looks very angry. Who provoked him? The sergeants started talking about the man in extremely low tones. Jian Wushuang, he is the first divine general, Hong Shou, the strongest among all the divine generals. He is very narrow-minded and overbearing. Lin Dong lowered his voice when he whispered to Jian Wushuang. The first divine general? Jian Wushuang frowned and took a step forward, asking, Yes, I'm Jian Wushuang. Why are you looking for me? Jian Wushuang looked quite calm, as if he did not take this powerful divine general seriously at all. Jian Wushuang. Hong Shou stared at Jian Wushuang coldly. Hong Shou, Jian Wushuang has just received a mission from the commander and is about to set off. At this point, what is your business in looking for him? Lin Dong chimed in with a frown. Shut up! Hong Shou shouted fiercely at him, giving out a sense of killing intent. Hong Shou! Lin Dong's face suddenly darkened. Although he was a bit weaker than Hong Shou, he was the second divine general and in the same position as Hong Shou in the army, therefore, he was annoyed at being shouted at in front of so many soldiers. Just received a mission from the commander? Hump! That mission should have been mine. Hong Shou roared. What? The surrounding sergeants were surprised to hear that and all looked toward Jian Wushuang. With eyes fixed on Jian Wushuang, Hong Shou shouted again. If you want to take charge of that mission, just take it, I don't care. But the commander told me that he turned the mission to you because you're stronger than me, and he has more confidence in you. Hump. I can't accept that excuse. Upon hearing this, all the sergeants present immediately understood what the whole thing was about. I can finally understand what they are talking about. No wonder the first divine general is so angry. It turns out that the commander thinks Jian Wushuang is stronger than him. The first divine general is full of pride. No wonder he is so angry about the commander's comment. Jian Wushuang was confused for a moment after hearing Hong Shou's words, but he quickly understood the situation. The commander has deliberately enraged Hong Shou by saying that. He thought to himself. He was sure the commander must be watching them from somewhere at this moment. He wants to test my power through Hong Shou. Thinking of this, Jian Wushuang smiled faintly before looking up and said, The first divine general? Did you come here to challenge me? Of course. Hong Shou nodded intently. The first divine general post of our island has always been served by the strongest universe master among us. If you win, you can take my place to be the first divine general. But if you lose, you can still carry on with that mission, only that you should be more humble after that. Okay, now make your move. Jian Wushuang smiled slightly, still looking very undisturbed. Hong Shou is asking for trouble. Hong Shou has never respected other divine generals. Now, since he dared to provoke Jian Wushuang, we will wait and watch him get into trouble. His time as the first divine general has come to an end. Lin Dong and Mou, who stood next to Jian Wushuang, secretly laughed at this. Hong Shou was very unpopular on Scarlet Island and was not on good terms with the other divine generals, who had detested his supercilious manner for a long time. Now, seeing that he would be in trouble, Lin Dong and Mo Yoshin gloated over it. The two of them had witnessed Jian Wushuang's power in Redwater City. In their view, Hong Shou was no match for Jian Wushuang. Hong Shou had no idea about their thoughts. He only knew that Jian Wushuang had accepted his challenge. With a sneer, he held a cyan saber in his hand. Jian Wushuang, I don't want to bully you, so I will let you attack first. Hong Shou stood in a commanding manner, saber in hand. Seeing that, Jian Wushuang forced a smile and shook his head secretly. If so, then you should be careful. Jian Wushuang did not want to waste his time on Hong Shou. He took out his Blood Mountain sword and struck first. With that move, a dazzling sword light flashed to Hong Shou through the void. When it was about to strike Hong Shou, Jian Wushuang's eyes sparkled as if he had only exerted about 30% of his powers. By using only 10% of his power, it had been enough to match the strength of Universe Master Bei. Now, using only 30% of his power, it was beyond what the invincible Universe Masters could withstand. Moreover, the swordsmanship he displayed was extremely skillful. Hong Shou defended himself with his saber at once. However, after it collided with Jian Wushuang's sword, his saber almost bent under the force. The power behind the strike immediately fell on Hong Shou. Boom! Hong Shou was sent flying from the impact of the collision. The impact was so great that he knocked down some barracks and palaces before regaining his balance. After the strike, under everyone's stunned eyes, Jian Wushuang sheathed his sword and bowed in a certain direction. After that, he headed off to Leopard Print Island. There was dead silence in the barracks. The sergeants were still in shock long after Jian Wushuang had departed. After a long while, an uproar broke out in the barracks again. This Jian Wushuang. Lin Dong's and Mou's eyes flickered. I told you the death of that universe god of Redwater Alliance was not as simple as what Jian Wushuang had explained. I'm right. His power is unfathomable. Lin Dong said in a low voice. Hong Shou is able to withstand several blows, even with a universe god. How could he be defeated by a single blow from Jian Wushuang? Mou was full of disbelief. They were so amazed by Jian Wushuang's power despite having seen it in action before. Those who did not know that were even more amazed. The news that Jian Wushuang had defeated Hong Shou spread through the barracks like wildfire. Hong Shou was too ashamed to show his face. In the void above the barracks, where Jian Wushuang had bowed to before he left, stood a man who resembled a towering brown bear. The man was no other than Commander Man Yi. Jian Wushuang is really an interesting character, the commander thought with a smile. He figured out my intention of testing his power through Hong Shou, so he defeated Hong Shou with a quick strike. He wanted me to see that. Besides, before he left, he bowed toward the direction where I stood as if he knew I was here all this while, watching them. I thought I've hidden myself well? Given all this, he is really a genius of wisdom, as talented as the universe god Qin Yang of the Holy Prefecture. I should observe him secretly first. When he comes back from Leopard Print Island, I will tell the Lord my findings regarding him. Leopard Print Island was so far away from Scarlet Island that it took Jian Wushuang 5 days to get there, even when he was traveling at full speed. The moment he arrived on the island, he was surrounded by the auras of the cultivators. Who is there? A patrol of cultivators spotted Jian Wushuang and immediately rushed to surround him. As soon as they approached him, they immediately sensed the aura of Jian Wushuang's token. Divine General. The cultivators saluted Jian Wushuang respectfully. I'm here under the commander's order. Is Universe God Chen Luan on the island? Jian Wushuang asked them. Yes. The leader of the patrol answered respectfully. Great. Take me to her immediately, Jian Wushuang ordered. Yes, sir. The sergeants led Jian Wushuang deep into the island. It did not take them long to arrive at an exquisite pavilion. Entering it, Jian Wushuang saw Universe God Chen Luan. The Universe God was a beautiful and graceful lady, dressed in a green robe. From the information Jian Wushuang had gathered about her, she was an advanced Universe God in the first heaven. Universe God Chen Luan. Jian Wushuang saluted her respectfully. You are Jian Wushuang, the person who has just joined our Scarlet Island? Universe God Chen Luan looked at Jian Wushuang and had a worried expression on her face. I asked the commander to send a Universe God here, but here you are, a divine general. From her look, others could tell that she was not happy about Jian Wushuang's status. The commander said that the other Universe Gods on 9-Star Sea were busy with their own business and can't leave their positions, and it would be too late if he assigned someone here from the headquarters. Therefore, he ordered me to come here. Jian Wushuang explained to her. It doesn't help much to have you here. You're just a universe master. Universe God Chen Luan waved her hands. Upon hearing that, Jian Wushuang responded with a wry smile. Don't worry. The commander must have known about your situation when he made the decision. But still, he sent me here. He thinks I can help you. You will be able to help me? Universe God Chen Luan glanced at Jian Wushuang and said with a smile. Answer my question. What do you think about your skills when compared with the first divine general Hong Shou? Compared with Hong Shou? Jian Wushuang was surprised by the question, but he answered without hesitation. I am stronger than him. Stronger than him? Universe God Chen Luan was amazed. Are you sure about that? Of course I am, because before I left the island, I defeated him in a fight. Jian Wushuang replied. He only said that he defeated Hong Shou, without mentioning that it was through a single strike. Oh! Universe God Chen Luan raised her eyebrows and her eyes lit up. She was well aware about Hong Shou's power. That man was powerful enough to battle the weaker ones among the universe gods in the first heaven. If what Jian Wushuang said was true, that he was more powerful than Hong Shou, he could battle those universe gods as well. It seems that the commander did not lie to me. I know his difficulties, so I am really happy that he sent you here at such a crucial moment when we are in a fierce battle with the Golden Sun sect. Universe God Chen Luan showed a smile of understanding. Jian Wushuang, I see you carry a sword with you. Are you a cultivator in sword principle? Universe God Chen Luan suddenly asked. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded. What a coincidence. Universe God Chen Luan continued with a smile. 2 days ago, we made a new discovery in the leopard print gem mine. It may be helpful to you. What's the discovery? Jian Wushuang was excited. Come with me. Universe God Chen Luan stood up from her seat and led Jian Wushuang towards the core place of the leopard print gem mine on the island. Jian Wushuang followed her curiously. Though it was an island, Leopard Print Island was very vast and was no smaller than the cities in the Dayu region. It had a lot of leopard print gems buried in its grounds. After Scarlet Island took over it, many cultivators started mining for the gems in it. Following Universe God Chen Luan, Jian Wushuang moved slowly toward the core place. Along the way, he could see many people mining. The leopard print gem is widely used in refining weapons, setting formations, and it can also help cultivators comprehend. Therefore, it's more valuable than many other gems in the eternal chaotic world. I can't imagine how much such a large area of leopard print gem mine under this ground is worth. No wonder Scarlet Island and Shou Kingdom have fought aggressively for it. Jian Wushuang gasped in admiration. Universe God Chen Luan, who was leading the way, suddenly paused in her steps. We are here, she turned back and said to Jian Wushuang in a hushed tone. Wow! Jian Wushuang immediately looked ahead and his eyes narrowed. This is a secret chamber? He was surprised. At that moment, they were in the depths of the leopard print gem mine. However, there was a large secret chamber in front of them. Let us go in. Universe God Chen Luan led Jian Wushuang into the chamber. The chamber was empty, except for a piece of cyan stone in its center. It looks like a formation has been set up in this chamber. Jian Wushuang looked around and he could feel that doing one's cultivation in this room would be much more efficient than on the outside. You're right. There is a formation which has been set up based on the leopard print gems. In order to improve the efficiency in cultivating, Universe God Qian Luan said to Jian Wushuang. Well, it's true that with the help of the formation and the gems, cultivating here will be more efficient than cultivating outside. This, however, would not make the chamber so rare that any universe god can achieve that through setting up some better formations, Jian Wushuang said. You're right. The most precious thing in this room is not the formation or the room itself but that cyan stone. Take a closer look at it, Jian Wushuang, she said. The stone. Jian Wushuang immediately took a closer look at the cyan stone in front of him, and he noticed that there were two large words etched on it. The words had been engraved deep into the stone with some sharp tools, probably with a sword. Yanjiu. Jian Wushuang stared at the two words. Is that a person's name? Jian Wushuang asked, seemingly confused. Yes, it's a name. Universe God Qian Luan nodded and continued. This name may sound quite strange to you, a new arrival from your hometown, but for those cultivators who have spent millions or even tens of millions of years in Daiyu region, this name has a special meaning. Yanjiu was a formidable universe god who rose in fame in our region 7 million years ago. His swordsmanship was extremely brilliant. At the same time, he was the only person who had dared to threaten Daiyu Palace during the past years. Jian Wushuang was stunned when he heard that. Threaten Daiyu Palace? The palace was the local tyrant of the Daiyu region. No matter how fiercely Scarlet Island, the Golden Sun sect and the Holy Prefecture fought with each other, none of them dared to provoke the Daiyu Palace. The palace was a force of real supremacy. The master of the palace was the only universe god in the third heaven in the Daiyu region, who was recognized even by the Snow Kingdom. However, 7 million years ago, Yanjiu threatened Daiyu Palace and even threatened its master. 7 million years ago, Yanjiu fought with the master of Daiyu Palace and it ended in a draw. At that time, he was just in the second heaven. Universe God Qian Luan continued. What? A universe god in the second heaven was evenly matched to a god in the third heaven? Jian Wushuang became even more stunned. After all, there was a big difference between two levels of the universe god, let alone between the two realms. Even Jian Wushuang, as an inverse cultivator, had no confidence in breaking into the third heaven from the second heaven, although Yanjiu made it. Yanjiu was really strong at that time. After his battle with the master of Daiyu Palace, everyone assumed that when he reached the third heaven, he would replace the master and become the #1 expert in the Daiyu region. However, after the battle, he disappeared. Some people said that he had left the region while others said that he died after the third god test. Since then, there has been no news of him. He has, therefore, become a legend in the Daiyu region. But just 2 days ago, when we were exploring this mine, we discovered this secret chamber. It is obviously related to Yanjiu. He might have set up the formation and practiced here for some time. Universe God Qian Luan said to Jian Wushuang. I agree. Jian Wushuang nodded. Judging from the words on the stone, he could tell it had been left by some experts of sword principle. Probably was Yanjiu. Jian Wushuang, you are good at sword principle as well. You must know what these two words mean, right? Universe God Qian Luan continued. Yes, I do. Jian Wushuang smiled and there was a sparkle in his eyes. By observing how the two words Yanjiu were engraved, he discovered an extremely powerful and terrifying skill hidden behind them. Though it was just a single move, for those cultivators of sword principle it meant a great opportunity. Although I can't fully learn the skill of this move left by Yanjiu, I can observe its essence. It will be helpful for my own swordsmanship. As I see it, this skill is aimed at speed. Based on this, I may create a skill of high speed. Jian Wushuang thought to himself. Jian Wushuang, I'll leave this secret chamber to you. You can meditate in it before the experts of Shou Kingdom invade the island. By then, I hope that you have improved your power and can give us more support in fighting against them. Universe God Qian Luan told Jian Wushuang her wish. I understand, Jian Wushuang nodded. After Universe God Qian Luan departed, Jian Wushuang was the only one left in the chamber. He sat down directly with his legs crossed, released his soul power and started meditating on the skill hidden behind the words, Yan Jiu. Though he did not know the concept of the skills yet, he felt he could gain a lot from its essence. This skill is obviously powerful, but why do I get this feeling that it is also very swift? Jian Wushuang closed his eyes and devoted himself to the meditation of the sword skills. At the same time, he also tried to figure out the shortcomings of his own swordsmanship. Time went by. On an uninhabited island, not far from Leopard Print Island, there was a gathering of many cultivators. There were two men there who were clearly the leaders. The duo's roaring auras showed that they were universe gods. Standing side by side, they looked at the void in front of them, obviously waiting for something. Before long, a black figure appeared in the distance. Here he comes. One of the leaders was a man over 2 meters tall and wearing a body armor. He grinned when he saw the black figure. Beside him was a good-looking young man, whose face looked pale. The young man's eyes sparkled as well when he saw the figure. Whoosh! The figure, dressed in a black robe, appeared on the island, where the two were waiting. Mr. Zhuge. The two men saluted the newcomer. Your presence is very welcome here. An old voice came forth from the black robe. This time, I came to help you under my master's order, but he also told me that I'd better not have a hand in your affairs unless it's necessary. It is best for our holy prefecture to stay out of the raging battle between Scarlet Island and Golden Sun sect now. We understand, Mr. Zhuge, the young man answered with a smile. Before you arrived, I've confirmed that there is only one universe god named Qian Luan on Leopard Print Island. She is in the first heaven and I can hold off her on my own. With the two of us here, we can certainly take over the island. The reason why we asked you for help was just to be a backup. After all, such a large leopard print gem mine must be really worth a lot. So much the better. The black-robed man nodded. It seems that Scarlet Island hasn't gained any advantage over Golden Sun sect yet. Otherwise, they would have more than one universe god to guard the island. When do you guys plan to start your action? We're ready, Mr. Zhuge. Since you are here, let's go now, the young man replied. Great. The black-robed man nodded slightly. Immediately, the experts from Show State headed to Leopard Print Island, with the tall man in armor and the young man leading the way. As for Mr. Zhuge, he set off with them but kept his presence hidden. Boom! As soon as the army of Show State arrived on the Leopard Print Island, their aura immediately oppressed the whole place. Jian Wushang was still in the secret chamber in the core place of Leopard Print Gem Mine. Wang! A cold sword light flashed in the room like a meteor. It seemed to have a sword chant in it. This quickly died away. Jian Wushuang stood with the Blood Mountain sword in his hand, with a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. He stared at the two words in the cyan stone. Yan Jiu, I want to thank you. You might not have left those words here on purpose, but it still inspired me a lot. I have meditated on it for 10 days in this room. Using that and the spell of disturbance, I have created a new skill. Jian Wushuang murmured joyfully. Before he entered the room, he had only created 2 unique skills for himself, Dawn Light and Nirvana. Now, based on spell of disturbance, he created the third one. This new skill was aimed at improving his attacking speed and was a perfect combination of speed and soul attack. It was a real killing move. The difference was that the spell of disturbance was able to display dozens of moves or even hundreds of moves without pausing. There was a soul attack behind each of the moves. Even though there was only one move in the new skill, the soul attack behind it was much more powerful. The new skill could exert the power of the soul attack to the fullest. What should I name this skill? Since it's created based on spell of disturbance and there is a chant of the sword in it, let me call it Chant of Disturbance then. Jian Wushuang smiled as he named his new skill. His third unique skill, Chant of Disturbance, was thus created, following the previous 2 moves, the Stroke of Dawn and Nirvana. Like the 2 previous skills, the new skill was also of a high level. At this level, Nirvana was powerful in attacking while Chant of Disturbance was very strange and fast. Although this new skill would not increase Jian Wushuang's overall power, it could help him have a better chance to defeat his opponents in a fight. Right then, boom! He felt a strong aura overwhelming the entire island. What's that? Jian Wushuang immediately looked up. Jian Wushuang, come out quickly. The experts of Shou Kingdom have arrived. Universe God Qian Luan summoned Jian Wushuang urgently. They have arrived? Jian Wushuang's eyes lit up and his heart was filled with anticipation. I have set foot on the eternal chaotic world for so long, but I have never had the chance to go all out to fight. Now, the experts of Shou State have come. I hope I can go all out and make good use of my skills. Jian Wushuang immediately rushed out of the secret chamber to the void above Leopard Print Island. The arrival of the experts of Shou State caused a great commotion on the whole island. A large number of Universe Masters and Holy Masters who were guarding the island reached its edge. Outside the island, there were also a large number of experts gathered. Are all these experts from Shou Kingdom? Jian Wushuang stood in the void, staring at the crowds gathered nearby. The number of Universe Masters and Holy Masters present from Shou State were no larger than that on Leopard Print Island. There were two towering figures with unusually strong auras, standing in front of the crowd. Obviously, these two were universe gods. However, there was only one universe god on Scarlet Island's side. In view of this, Scarlet Island seemed to be the weaker opponent. Universe god Qian Luan. Jian Wushuang came up to her. Jian Wushuang, you finally came out. Have you gained anything in the secret chamber? Asked Universe god Qian Luan. Yes, quite a lot. Jian Wushuang gave a slight nod. Great. As you can see, we're in big trouble now. Universe god Qian Luan's beautiful eyebrows were furrowed with worry. I knew that Shou Kingdom would not give up trying to seize this island. Among the two universe gods present from Shou State, one is universe god Lei Ming, in the elementary first heaven. The other one is universe god Wu, in the advanced first heaven. The latter's power is on par with mine. I'll handle him and universe god Lei Ming will be left to you. Universe god Lei Ming? Jian Wushuang glanced at the tall man standing in the distance and nodded, saying, Okay, leave him to me. Universe god Qian Luan cast an expectant look at Jian Wushuang before she stepped out to face the experts of Shou State. Universe god Qian Luan, how have you been since we last met? The young man, Universe god Wu, looked at Universe god Qian Luan coldly. He did not bother to acknowledge Jian Wushuang, who was just a universe master, standing beside her. Universe god Wu, Universe god Lei Ming, why are you here today? Universe god Qian Luan asked. Why are we here today? You know there is no need to ask this question, right? We are here to take back Leopard Print Gem Mine which rightfully belongs to us. Universe god Wu answered in a cold voice. Universe god Qian Luan, if you are not a fool, lead your people out the island immediately and we can still maintain a good relationship. Otherwise what? You will invade this island? Universe god Qian Luan's eyes hardened and in a loud voice, she continued, Universe god Wu, think again. Everyone who has tried to occupy our territory has paid their price. Red Water Alliance, which was destroyed by us, is the best example. Now, do you want to make the same mistake? On hearing this, Universe god Wu smiled coldly before replying. Universe god Qian Luan, stop trying to frighten us. We are not as stupid as Red Water Alliance to let you destroy our headquarters. Our headquarters is in the Holy Prefecture. If you dare, come over and fight with us. Universe god Wu's words were spoken recklessly. With the Holy Prefecture's support, Shou State had no fears that Scarlet Island would wipe them out, as what they had done to Red Water Alliance. Universe god Qian Luan's face hardened. If so, there is nothing more to say. Let's fight. I'd love to see how you will take over this island with only yourself and Lei Ming. Haha, I can do that by myself. Universe god Wu sneered and waved his hand at the people standing behind him. Men, kill them all. As his voice fell, boom! Powerful auras rose everywhere, accompanied by bursts of loud shouts. Led by Universe god Wu and Universe god Lei Ming, The Holy Masters and Universe Masters of Show State swarmed into Leopard Print Island. Although there was a formation protecting the island, Jian Wushuang's side could not rely on it to block off the invaders. The experts from the two sides engaged in a fierce battle in no time. Jian Wushuang, as we agreed before, you will handle Universe God Lei Ming. Remember, try your best to hold him off, and when you can't hold on anymore, just flee. Don't get yourself killed. After saying this, Universe God Chen Luan charged at her opponent. Try my best to hold him off? Don't get myself killed? Jian Wushuang had a strange look on his face after hearing her words. After casting a cold eye at Universe God Lei Ming, who had a ferocious aura about him, he charged at him. Ha ha! Go to hell! With bloodshot eyes and a contorted face, Universe God Lei Ming's laughter resounded round the whole place. He had a huge axe in each hand, and there was enormous power behind every move when he struck out. No one from Scarlet Island could survive a single strike from him. He was like a tiger in a flock, slaughtering at will. When Jian Wushuang reached him, he just shot a glance at him, not taking him seriously at all. He could sense that Jian Wushuang was only a universe master. Even if Jian Wushuang was an invincible universe master, in Universe God Lei Ming's eyes, he was nothing more than an ant. Go to hell! Universe God Lei Ming snorted, and he struck at Jian Wushuang with the axe in his left hand. Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes at the strike. The Blood Mountain sword quivered excitedly in his hands. He then struck out as well. As he swung the sword, Jian Wushuang exerted all his power behind the move. Clang! The sword shadow pierced through the void and clashed with the axe. There was a sound of metal on metal. When the sound stopped, a horrible power was released immediately. Universe God Lei Ming did not take Jian Wushuang seriously at all until this moment, when he felt Jian Wushuang's power through his axe. He is a universe god? Universe God Lei Ming's eyes narrowed, and he immediately looked at Jian Wushuang. The collision had numbed his arm, and his axe almost slipped out of his hand. He thought this type of power should have come from a universe god. However, Jian Wushuang was only a universe master, which was a surprise to him. Kid, who are you? Universe God Lei Ming gazed at Jian Wushuang and shouted. You don't need to know my name. What you need to know is that as long as I'm here, you can no longer kill anyone on Scarlet Island. Jian Wushuang replied with a smile. I can no longer kill anyone on Scarlet Island? Ridiculous. Universe God Lei Ming's eyes sparkled. I'll kill you, a weak universe master, first. As he spoke, a terrifying killing intent immediately swept out from him. His big body seemed to grow even stronger when he displayed a secret skill. His bloodshot eyes became even more vivid. God-killing shift. The 7 axe moves of Jiu Yu. The roar thundered throughout the place, and the power behind it was earth-shattering. Watched by horrified eyes, Universe God Lei Ming rushed forward with his 2 axes, striking out quickly. For a time, there was dead silence. On the other side, Universe God Chen Luan was busy fighting with Universe God Wu, but almost at the same time, both of them felt a horrible power rising forth. It's Lei Ming. He is displaying the god-killing shift as well as his best skill, 7 axe moves of Jiu Yu. Universe God Wu frowned. Universe God Chen Luan is busy fighting with me. Who else can force him to display that move among all the experts present at Scarlet Island? Who else could it be? With this thought, his eyes widened as he looked toward Universe God Lei Ming and finally noticed Jian Wushuang standing there. Is that him? But he is only a universe master. Universe God Wu was extremely amazed. Was that universe master the one who managed to force Universe God Lei Ming to display his best moves? Universe God Chen Luan's expression changed when she saw Lei Ming's move. Damn! Lei Ming is using his best move to kill Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang, get away from him! Universe God Chen Luan sent a warning to Jian Wushuang instantly. On the battlefield, when Jian Wushuang saw Universe God Lei Ming's aura rising sharply toward him, there was a glint in his eyes. Boom! Universe God Lei Ming and Jian Wushuang collided into each other. The former struck out with his 2 big axes, displaying his best move, 7 axe moves of Jiu Yu. There were a total of 7 strikes in the move, each move more powerful than the former. The key point of the move was to continuously add on to the power. Although this move was just at the elementary first level, its effect was as powerful as that of an advanced first level. Facing this move, Jian Wushuang brandished his Blood Mountain sword to defend himself while drawing back. Boom! 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 After 7 consecutive collisions, Universe God Lei Ming finally stopped his attack. At that moment, in front of the void that had burst, Jian Wushuang stood with his sword in hand. He looked at his sleeve opening, shook off the dust on it, and looked up at Universe God Lei Ming with a smile. The move you just executed is not bad. Jian Wushuang's voice echoed throughout the place. The people around were stunned. Jian Wushuang had somehow managed to take on Lei Ming's best moves and emerge unharmed. Universe God Wu's eyes were wide open in disbelief. He knew very well the power behind his 7 axe moves of Jiuyu. Even as an advanced universe god in the first heaven, he had to execute the moves cautiously. Jian Wushuang, a mere universe master, easily held off the moves. Jian Wushuang, universe god Chen Luan, was as astonished as the others. She had just told Jian Wushuang to back off. She now knew why the commander had sent Jian Wushuang to help her. She also knew why Jian Wushuang was so confident in battling a universe god. Watched by dozens of shocked eyes, Jian Wushuang's eyes turned cold. I've withstood your best move. Now, it's time for you to take my move. Jian Wushuang murmured and lifted up his Blood Mountain sword. Nirvana! As his voice rang out, a dazzling sword light full of hope and vitality suddenly rose in the air. After reaching a certain height, it went straight to Universe God Lei Ming without meeting any obstacles. Seeing that, Universe God Lei Ming narrowed his eyes and hurriedly struck out again with his axes, though he was extremely shocked. Clang! The axe in his right hand was knocked away. The remaining power of the sword light kept flying toward his throat. He quickly put the axe in his left hand across his chest to defend himself. Boom! The sword light met with the axe and Universe God Lei Ming was sent flying by the impact of the force. Using the force, he quickly set a distance between Jian Wushuang and himself. After regaining his balance, he stood far away, giving Jian Wushuang a horrified look. This kid almost killed me. Universe God Lei Ming was deeply shaken. Is he really just a universe master? On the island, the experts on both sides who had witnessed the scene were all shocked. Bravo! Universe God Chen Luan let out a cry of excitement, not caring about her status as a universe god. Bastard! Universe God Wu looked grave. Where did this universe master come from? How could he be so strong? We're in big trouble. Universe God Wu had witnessed everything on the battlefield. The number of universe masters and holy masters on the two sides was almost the same. The only advantage Xiao State had was that they had one more universe god. Universe God Wu had also intended to battle Universe God Chen Luan himself and let Universe God Lei Min invade the island to kill the rest of their enemies. If there was no one who could stop a universe god from killing, the universe masters and holy masters of Scarlet Island would be driven wild and killed off very soon. However, he never thought that there was someone that could hold off Universe God Lei Ming and even defeat him. Therefore, his plan turned out to be unsuccessful. Moreover, Jian Wushuang managed to break into their side and killed most of his people. We can't let it go on like this, Mr. Zhuge. Stop him. Universe God Wu immediately sent out a message. In fact, there was no need for Universe God Wu to send the message. Mr. Zhuge, who was still in hiding, was already itching to strike as he could not suppress his fighting instincts anymore. Boom! A black figure with an aura more powerful than that of Universe God Lei Ming, Universe God Wu, and even Universe God Chen Luan, appeared in the void and landed on the battlefield in an instant. The moment the figure arrived, his aura immediately engulfed the surroundings. The universe masters and holy masters who were around the area felt a chill in the hearts. All of them stopped their moves and looked toward the black figure. The battle paused because of the newcomer. When Universe God Chen Luan noticed the arrival of the black figure, her expression suddenly changed. The figure ignored all the shocked eyes and raised his head, revealing a pale, old face. The most striking thing on his face was his eyes. They were a strange green color, terrifying and chilling. At that moment, the eyes were fixed Jian Wushuang. "Kid, how dare you!" The roar came forth from the black-robed man's mouth, echoing around the place. "Kid, how dare you!" The black-robed man's angry voice echoed throughout the battlefield and stunned everyone there. They could not help thinking, Jian Wushuang has defeated Universe God Lei Ming because of his power. What has that got to do with courage? However, when Jian Wushuang heard the man's words, he narrowed his eyes. "Mr. Zhuge." Universe God Wu and Universe God Lei Ming came up to the black-robed man. "Lei Ming, you're a Universe God, yet you have lost to a Universe Master?" Universe God Wu said in a low voice. "I didn't know that the kid is so strong even if he is just a Universe Master." Universe God Lei Ming looked frustrated. For him, losing to a Universe Master would definitely be a lifelong disgrace. Jian Wushuang. Universe God Qianluan came over to Jian Wushuang and praised him, saying, "I looked down on you before because I didn't expect you to be so powerful. You are giving me too much credit, Universe God Qianluan." Jian Wushuang replied in a humble tone, "Let's talk about it later." Universe God Qianluan looked ahead and her eyes became cold. "Zhuge Qiu, today, does your holy prefecture want to interfere in our matters as well?" Zhuge Qiu. Jian Wushuang quickly recalled the name in his mind. Zhuge Qiu was an expert from Holy Prefecture and was extremely powerful among the universe gods in the first heaven. He was near the top of his level and was even more powerful than Universe God Qianluan and Universe God Wu. "I have no interest in the battle between you and Xiu State," the black-robed elder Zhuge Qiu replied directly. "Mr. Zhuge." Universe God Wu and Universe God Lei Ming were taken aback by his words. Zhuge Qiu had come here in order to help them. What did he mean when he said that he was not interested in their affairs? Although I'm not willing to intervene in this matter, there is a person that I must take away today," Zhuge Qiu continued. "Take one person away? Who is that person?" Universe God Qianluan asked. "Him." Zhuge Qiu pointed at Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes and suddenly he understood. "He is our 7th Divine General. Why do you want to take him away?" "He is our 7th Divine General. Why do you want to take him away?" Universe God Qianluan shouted. "Why?" "Because he killed one of the core disciples of Holy Prefecture." Zhuge Qiu's voice was cold. "What?" Universe God Qianluan was amazed. The other cultivators, including Universe God Wu and Universe God Lei Ming, were stunned as well. Zhuge Qiu stared at Jian Wushuang closely and asked, "Kid, you're Jian Wushuang, right? You should know why I want to take you away." "Yes." Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. "Great." Zhuge Qiu continued speaking coldly. "We have in total about 20 core disciples in our prefecture, and each of them is well trained with a talent in refining elixirs, weapons, or making formations. They are all extremely rare geniuses. These core disciples have also cultivated a unique secret skill. Once they are killed, their grievances will be attached to their murderers and only the experts of our holy prefecture can sense that grievance. I can sense a dense grievance of our core disciple from you. You must have killed one of our core disciples not long ago. Am I right?" "Yes, right?" Jian Wushuang replied with a smile. "It seems that you are not worried about the consequences of killing our core disciple?" Zhuge Qiu's face darkened. "Since he is already dead, why should I worry?" Jian Wushuang answered. "You are really not bothered at all, are you?" Zhuge Qiu's voice became icy and he turned to Universe God Qianluan. "Universe God Qianluan, you have heard this boy admitting his crime. So, it's reasonable if I take him to the Holy Prefecture, isn't it?" "This..." Universe God Qianluan frowned before continuing. "No matter what Jian Wushuang has done before, he is now the 7th Divine General of our Scarlet Island. You can take him away after getting our permission. I will report this matter to our Lord and with his consent, you can then take Jian Wushuang away." "So, I have to receive permission from your Lord first?" Zhuge Qiu sneered and continued. "Sorry, I can't wait for your Lord to arrive here to give his permission. I'm going to take this kid away now." If you dare, you can try to stop me. Universe God Chen Luan's face darkened at his words. Right then, Jian Wushuang chimed in with a mocking tone. Zhuge Qiu, shouldn't you ask me whether I'd like to go with you first? Ask you first. Zhuge Qiu looked toward Jian Wushuang again. Yes, Jian Wushuang said with a smile. You speak as if you could take me anywhere you want. I don't think that's true. Zhuge Qiu, I am here and I really want to see how will you take me away today? Everyone around was stunned when they heard this. They could tell that Jian Wushuang was trying to challenge Zhuge Qiu. How dare he provoke Mr. Zhuge? He is courting his death. Universe God Wu looked at Jian Wushuang with pity in his eyes. Hump. Does he really think that he is invincible after beating me? Mr. Zhuge is near the peak of the first heaven and Jian Wushuang is just a universe master. How dare he? Universe God Lei Ming also sneered. Upon hearing Jian Wushuang's words, Zhuge Qiu narrowed his eyes and a smile played around the corners of his mouth. The smile was as sharp as a blade. Swish! Without any warning, Zhuge Qiu made a direct move. He shot out and reached for Jian Wushuang, like a black flowing light before everyone could react. Then he punched Jian Wushuang. Boom! His power overwhelmed Jian Wushuang, who was flung aside and smashed into the ground, creating a huge pothole. The move was so sudden that it was some time before everyone realized what had happened. So fast. Too fast. Is Jian Wushuang dead? A sudden exclamation could be heard on Leopard Print Island. Zhuge Qiu. Universe God Chen Luan was enraged. Hump, that kid was courting death. He has no one to blame but himself. Zhuge Qiu flicked his sleeves, looking indifferent. But right then, boom! The ground of the island suddenly cracked and a figure rose to the sky. It was none other than Jian Wushuang. His aura was still strong and there were no injuries on his body. What? He is not injured at all? The people on the island were very surprised. Even Zhuge Qiu was a little amazed. Zhuge Qiu! Jian Wushuang's icy voice echoed all around, but there was no anger in him. Instead, surprise and excitement could be seen in his eyes. He felt as if his blood was boiling inside him. Ha ha! Great! Finally, you have come. Jian Wushuang laughed wildly. The other experts, including Zhuge Qiu and Universe God Chen Luan, were stunned by Jian Wushuang's wild laughter. Jian Wushuang's eyes were full of excitement. He stared at Zhuge Qiu and said, You are the first person that I'll be going all out to fight with after I entered the eternal chaotic world. Jian Wushuang's icy voice echoed all around and his fingers danced on his blood mountain sword, which was quivering at that moment. His sword was already thirsty for blood. At that moment, Jian Wushuang gazed at Zhuge Qiu with sparkling eyes and a roaring battle intent. The experts on the island were all stunned at the scene unfolding before them. Is Jian Wushuang crazy? As a universe master, how could Jian Wushuang have such an overwhelming battle intent when facing an advanced universe god? He must be crazy. Jian Wushuang ignored all the watchful eyes and took out a gold gourd. He unsealed the gourd and instantly, a loud sound could be heard. Wang! Wang! Along with the sound, a sandstorm erupted and swept over the surroundings. In its midst were some aquamarine flames. The huge blaze quicksand covered the whole of Leopard Print Island in an instant. Everyone on the island was covered by it. What is this? Many people were amazed by this skill. Quicksand realm oppress. Jian Wushuang suddenly shouted. As his voice rang out, the huge quicksand immediately spread out. Boom! The blaze quicksand rushed toward Zhuge Qiu, like a cage about to trap him. Facing the oncoming force, Zhuge Qiu had nowhere to hide and could only face it. Zhuge Qiu's expression changed slightly as he was pressed downward. Is this a realm press? It's so powerful. Zhuge Qiu was a bit shocked. Though he was a universe god near the peak of the first heaven, at that moment, about 30% of his power had been suppressed under the realm. A good 30%. For a universe god, even 1/10 decrease in power meant a lot. Now, his power was weakened to the level of Universe God Chen Luan and Universe God Wu. How could this kid get hold of such a powerful realm treasure? Zhuge Qiu looked at Wushuang with a trace of greed in his eyes. Daiyu region was different from Green Fire World. Green Fire World was home to many treasures, such as chaos magic treasures. However, in Daiyu region, the realm treasures were very rare, especially a treasure like Blaze Quicksand Gourd, which many universe gods coveted. If I kill him, then that gourd will be mine, Zhuge Qiu thought and rubbed his hands in glee. At that moment, Jian Wushuang, who was operating the Blaze Quicksand Gourd, spotted the greed in Zhuge Qiu's eyes and smiled. The next moment, kill! Jian Wushuang roared and charged at his opponent right under everyone's eyes. His battle intent kept rising. Obviously, his desire to fight against Zhuge Qiu was very strong. You're courting death. Zhuge Qiu was not angry and laughed instead. He dashed out as well. The battlefield immediately changed to the void. The Blood Mountain sword trembled slightly in Jian Wushuang's hands. At that moment, Jian Wushuang used all his power, including the power of Stage 2 of the Blood-Killing Plate armor. When he was fighting with Universe God Lei Ming, he had only used the power of the first level of the Blood-Killing Plate armor. Now, he used the power of the second level. He had exerted his powers to the extreme. There was also an oppression from the Blaze Quicksand. At this point, Jian Wushuang really did go all out. 3 waves. As Jian Wushuang swung his sword, there were 3 sword shadows striking out at the same time. With his killing intent shooting up to the sky, Zhuge Qiu drew close to Jian Wushuang and punched him with both hands. Bang! 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 3 deep crashing noises sounded one after another, and the explosive blast wave that followed forced the surrounding experts to draw back quickly in horror. At the center of the battlefield, after taking 3 strikes from Jian Wushuang, Zhuge Qiu had a cold glint in his eyes. Ning! Phew! A black lightning flashed in the air, without making any sound, looking like a black snake. It flew toward Jian Wushuang at an amazingly fast speed. Piss off! Jian Wushuang shouted and brandished his sword. A sword shadow struck out and destroyed the lightning. Nirvana! Jian Wushuang then displayed a unique skill of an advanced level. An enormous power flowed to his sword and a dazzling sword light flashed in the air, as bright as the sun. With a sway of Zhuge Qiu's body, a huge spectral image of an exotic beast appeared behind him. He then stretched out and punched Jian Wushuang. If his fist were to land on any normal universe god, that person would have been killed instantly. However, when the palm met Jian Wushuang's sword light, another loud sound could be heard. The power behind the sword burst forth. Humph! Zhuge Qiu let out a groan and could not help falling back. He shot a glance at his palm and felt a stinging pain where there was a red mark on it. Die! Jian Wushuang's voice resounded throughout the place as he slashed at Zhuge Qiu again. Kid, don't be so frivolous. Zhuge Qiu's nerves twitched in his head. He was enraged, and right then, 2 more spectral images of exotic beasts appeared behind him. There were in total 3 spectral images of exotic beasts, towering over the place. Zhuge Qiu looked grave, and as he went forward, the 3 exotic beasts roared together. In a moment, Jian Wushuang and Zhuge Qiu were once again engaged in a fierce battle. Boom! 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 Deafening sounds could be continuously heard as they fought on. The experts on the island from both sides widened their eyes at the sight before them. They were all dumbfounded. Even Universe God Chen Luan, Universe God Wu, and Universe God Lei Ming could not help being astonished. Jian Wushuang. He is able to battle so well against Zhuge Qiu. Universe God Chen Luan gasped in surprise. I thought he was powerful, but I never expected him to be that powerful. Universe God Lei Ming sighed and secretly felt better about his defeat. After all, he had lost to a man who was as powerful as Zhuge Qiu. I never thought that there was such a super genius in Scarlet Island. Universe God Wu gasped in admiration. Fighting head-on. It was true that Jian Wushuang had gone all out in his battle with Zhuge Qiu. Boom! While Jian Wushuang and Zhuge Qiu were fiercely battling, the Blaze Quicksand realm continued to oppress the entire place. The Blaze Quicksand Gourd was a valuable realm treasure, and with the breakthrough of his power, Jian Wushuang could make more use of the gourd in a fight. Even as powerful as Zhuge Qiu was, The Blaze Quicksand realm still suppressed his power by a full 30%. Without that realm, Jian Wushuang would not have been able to fight against Zhuge Qiu for so long. Boom! After another loud sound, the two were finally separated. Haha! I feel good. Zhuge Qiu, let's start another round. As Jian Wushuang's battle intent grew stronger, a sliver of light flashed through his eyes. He charged at Zhuge Qiu again after laughing loudly. Jian Wushuang was born to be a fighter. The same was true of the ancient god clan. Back when Jian Wushuang was in the Green Fire world, he had reached the peak of that world, and after that, he chose to adventure in the eternal chaotic world. He did not want to make his life easy. What he had been carrying did not allow him to take a rest. After he arrived in the Daiyu region and learned of its vastness, he had never gotten the chance to go all out to fight until this day. Never. Even Elder Li, the universe god of the Red Water Alliance, had also failed to force him to go all out. As for universe god Lei Ming, that master was powerful, but he had defeated him easily all the same. But now Zhuge Qiu appeared, a universe god at the peak of the first heaven. He was a more worthy opponent for Jian Wushuang. Only such an expert could make Jian Wushuang excited and arouse his battle intent. Jian Wushuang's aura grew even stronger as the fight went on. However, for Zhuge Qiu, it was the contrary. He frowned hard when seeing that Jian Wushuang's aura was still powerful. Madman! Zhuge Qiu stared at Jian Wushuang while thinking, "This boy is just a universe master and should be no match for me. At this point, I have consumed half of my power, but his power has even grown stronger. He is totally a madman. I am actually fighting against such a madman?" Zhuge Qiu wanted to retreat. As for Jian Wushuang's realm treasure, he gave up his intention for it. He even gave up getting revenge on Jian Wushuang for that dead core disciple of the Holy Prefecture. He decided to have other experts do that sometime later. "Kid, you are lucky today." Zhuge Qiu snorted and turned around directly, wanting to leave Leopard Print Island. The experts on the island were stunned by this scene. Is Zhuge Qiu trying to retreat? Humph, he can neither defeat Jian Wushuang nor take him away. What is he waiting for if he doesn't leave now? A universe god at the peak of the first heaven can't defeat a universe master? Cries of surprise resounded on Leopard Print Island. Zhuge Qiu heard those voices as well, and he looked terrible. However, he could do nothing about it but leave there at that moment. Nonetheless, Jian Wushuang would not let him go. "Zhuge Qiu!" Zhuge Qiu heard a shout behind him. He ignored the voice and kept heading away from the island, but a sandstorm suddenly appeared in front of him and blocked his path. The storm was not strong and he could break it up at will, but if he did so, his pace would be slowed. "Jian Wushuang, I've decided to go. What do you still want from me?" As Zhuge Qiu's icy voice echoed, he threw out a palm to break up the sandstorm. There's nothing in this world that says one can come and go from a place as he pleases. Jian Wushuang sneered and continued, "Moreover, you have forced me to go all out. You can't just go like this until a winner is decided between us." "Until a winner is decided between us?" Zhuge Qiu's eyes narrowed. "What, you want to kill me on this island today?" "Yup." Jian Wushuang smiled. "Arrogant." Zhuge Qiu was enraged. He knew he could not defeat Jian Wushuang, so he just decided to go. But now, it seemed that Jian Wushuang did not want to let the matter drop. He even wanted to kill him. The experts on the island were shocked to hear Jian Wushuang's words. "You will know soon whether or not I'm being arrogant." Jian Wushuang showed him a cold smile. "Zhuge Qiu, I know you have great fame. It's said that to defeat you, one must be a universe god at the peak of the first heaven. But I don't believe it." "What do you mean?" Zhuge Qiu stopped his departure and frowned at Jian Wushuang. "I have displayed most of my skills when fighting against you, but there is one move that I've yet to perform. A move that I've just created on the island. I'm confident of its power." Jian Wushuang smiled. "If you can withstand that move, you can leave. But if you can't, you'll be killed." "One more move." Zhuge Qiu's expression slightly changed. He thought that Jian Wushuang would have displayed all his moves in the fight just now, as he had done. However, it seemed that wasn't the case. Jian Wushuang still had one more move to display. Fine. Let me see how powerful your move can be. Zhuge Qiu's voice was full of confidence. And he should have been confident. He was nearly at the peak of the first heaven, so he was confident that he could withstand a single move, even from the powerful Universe God Qin. As for Jian Wushuang, he was not as powerful as Universe God Qin. And even if he was, Zhuge Qiu believed that he would not be killed by merely a single move from him. Zhuge Qiu watched carefully. Without saying another word, Jian Wushuang made his move under everyone's gaze. Wang! A chant from the sword was heard before a sword light flashed through the air. Everyone present could hear the chant clearly. The moment the chant echoed, a terrifying soul attack was aimed at Zhuge Qiu. Wang! A stunning sword light flashed through the void and pierced through Zhuge Qiu's head without meeting any resistance. A horrified look remained on Zhuge Qiu's face, but his aura began to die away. There was a dead silence on Leopard Print Island. Everyone's expressions were different at the moment. What happened just now? Although Jian Wushuang's move was very fast, a universe god at the peak of the first heaven should have been able to block it. Mr. Zhuge was killed so simply? Everyone was amazed. Zhuge Qiu died very suddenly and simply. Jian Wushuang, who was drawing his sword back, was the only one who was not surprised by it. There is no doubt that the chant of disturbance is my strongest killing move so far. Though it's not as powerful as Nirvana, it's so fast that few can dodge it. Jian Wushuang thought with a smile. He created the chant of disturbance in the secret chamber on the island that was left by Yanzhou. The soul attack behind the move was what really did the killing. As he had lit up his soul fire and his soul power was extremely superior, the soul attack he launched was much more powerful than his consciousness attack. Moreover, he also gained the second part of the Universal Tao scripture from his master, which helped him improve his soul power. He had been enhancing this power during all those years of cultivating. Before he entered that secret chamber, his soul power had been extremely pure and powerful. What he needed at that time was a skill to apply that power. Although he could try to apply that power to the mind-controlling secret skill, which he had learned from the ancient god clan, and the spell of disturbance which he had created himself, neither skills could fully exert that power. Therefore, the chant of disturbance was created at the right moment. This skill was a perfect soul attack. As a result, Jian Wushuang could kill the powerful Zhuge Qiu in a single strike. Zhuge Qiu had failed to ward off the soul attack behind that move and, therefore, was caught by a transient confusion. That was when Jian Wushuang had managed to kill him. Soul power is far superior to consciousness attack. Few advanced universe gods in the first heaven can ward off the chant of disturbance you created. Even those at the peak of the first heaven might accidentally get killed by that move. Gu Qing's voice echoed in Jian Wushuang's mind. Jian Wushuang replied with a smile. Among all my skills, only by relying on this move could I kill Zhuge Qiu. Without it, even though I have the Blaze Quicksand Gourd, I still couldn't defeat him. After this battle, he gained a clear understanding of his own strength. He was an inverse cultivator as well as a 4-star ancient god. If he exerted all his power, he could battle an elementary universe god of the first heaven. If the power of the second level of the blood-killing plate armor was added to that, he could battle an advanced universe god in that realm. The unique skills he created were at advanced level 1. Adding all of that together, he was as powerful as an advanced universe god of the first heaven. However, with the Blaze Quicksand, he had made it a close battle with Zhuge Qiu, and by relying on the chant of disturbance, he had managed to kill him. In view of my current power, I have no need to fear the universe gods beneath the peak of the first heaven, but if I encounter an expert at the peak of the first heaven, such as Universe God Qin, I'll have to run or display the Star River secret skill to battle him. Jian Wushuang thought to himself. His killing of Zhuge Qiu with one strike turned the tide of the battle on the island. The hearts of Universe God Wu and Universe God Lei Ming beat wildly as they watched Zhuge Qiu get killed. Even Mr. Zhuge was killed by Jian Wushuang. It will be so easy for him to kill us. Universe God Wu looked horrified. Let's leave here right now. The two universe gods of the Shou state started running desperately. Seeing that their leaders began escaping, the remaining experts of the Shou state followed the two without thinking. With so many experts retreating from the battlefield, the show state kept losing its ground. For that, the experts of Scarlet Island did not even bother chasing after them. Jian Wushuang stood watching the two universe gods of the show state run away. Universe god Chen Luan came over to him. Jian Wushuang. She looked at him, and her eyes betrayed her complicated feelings. There were surprise and horror, but even more disbelief in them. She had been an expert in the Daiyu region for so long that she had heard of and met many great geniuses. However, she had never heard of any universe master who could kill a universe god at the peak of the first heaven, who was even more powerful than her. Universe god Chen Luan. Let's go down to check the casualties on our side. Jian Wushuang looked at universe god Chen Luan with a smile while speaking. Okay. Universe god Chen Luan nodded slightly. The battle between Scarlet Island and the show state did not last long, therefore, not many from either side had died in the battle. In merely a moment, universe god Chen Luan had settled everything down. After that, she found Jian Wushuang again, and this time, she looked calmer. Jian Wushuang, I'll report everything that has happened today to the commander, including the grudge between you and the Holy Prefecture, as well as that you've killed Zhuge Qiu, she said. I see. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. Since he had chosen to go all out to fight, he naturally did not want to hide his power anymore. Don't worry about the grudge between you and the Holy Prefecture. You're the 7th Divine General of our Scarlet Island, so we will try our best to protect you. I promise you. Universe god Chen Luan spoke again. Thanks. Jian Wushuang raised his eyebrows. Both Scarlet Island and the Holy Prefecture were the overlords of the Daiyu region and did not fear each other. The former was not worried about offending the latter. If Scarlet Island handed Jian Wushuang over to the Holy Prefecture, it would disappoint many of Scarlet Island's experts. No one would do such a stupid thing. Universe god Chen Luan said, Let's wait for the results. While Jian Wushuang was waiting on Leopard Print Island, the officers and the universe gods of Scarlet Island were in an uproar. What? One of our divine generals killed a universe god, succeeded in a rank-skipping challenge, and killed his opponent. Who is the universe god that was killed? How powerful was he? Zhuge Qiu from the Holy Prefecture? How could it be possible? Those universe gods were astonished upon receiving the news. If it were a normal or weak universe god that Jian Wushuang had killed, those officers would not have been so astonished, but it was Zhuge Qiu, an advanced universe god in the first heaven and near the peak of that realm. Such a person was killed by a universe master? Are you kidding me? Is it true? We have such a super genius on our Scarlet Island? It's true. The commander who brought the news to the officers smiled. This divine general is named Jian Wushuang, and he has joined us not long ago. When he went to destroy the Red Water Alliance, he killed a universe god of the Alliance. But that was a weak universe god who had just passed the god test, so I did not pay much attention to Jian Wushuang at that time. Now, he has actually killed Zhuge Qiu on Leopard Print Island. I learned this from universe god Chen Luan. Besides her, all the people on the island had witnessed it that day, including the cultivators and 2 universe gods from the show state. I reckon that this news will spread throughout the entire region soon. There has never been such a universe master who could kill an advanced universe god in the first heaven in our history. The commander was excited as he spoke. He was overjoyed to see such a genius on their island. But now, Jian Wushuang is in big trouble. The commander continued. Before joining us, he had a grudge with the Holy Prefecture because he killed a core disciple of theirs. And because of that, Zhuge Qiu had tried to kill him this time. A grudge with the Holy Prefecture? Those universe gods all frowned at those words. If it were in the past, they would not fear the Holy Prefecture at all and would gladly meet them head-on in a battle. But now, they were in a fierce battle with the Golden Sun sect on the 9-star sea. If the Holy Prefecture stepped in at this moment, they would bring trouble as well. Man-E, the commander received a message. Yes, my lord, the commander immediately answered. The commander was in a high position among the entirety of Scarlet Island, and all the experts there addressed him as commander. Only one person would call him by his name, the Lord of Scarlet Island. I already know about this matter. Jian Wushuang is indeed a genius. Although he has just joined us, we should try our best to protect him as he now is one of us. Even if it is the Dayu Palace that he has offended, we should help him all the same. The Lord's voice was majestic. I agree. The commander nodded. Where is Jian Wushuang now? Asked the Lord. He is still on Leopard Print Island with Chen Luan. The commander immediately answered. He has just killed Zhuge Qiu. The Holy Prefecture must be furious after learning about it and will have some experts to kill him. Send him a message telling him to come back now. The Lord continued. Understood, my lord. The commander took the order. He immediately sent a message to Jian Wushuang. While the officers of Scarlet Island were astonished by Jian Wushuang's power, the officers of the Holy Prefecture also received some news from the Xiu state. From it, they all learned that Zhuge Qiu had been killed by a divine general of Scarlet Island. In a towering palace, a good 10 universe gods of the Holy Prefecture were gathered together with a milky-eyed, white-haired elder as their leader. This elder looked like a fairy, but his aura gave off a feeling of chill and despair to all those who looked at him. He was one of the 4 mansion masters of the Holy Prefecture, the famous universe god Zhuhai, a person who had passed 2 god tests, as well as a universe god in the second heaven. Among the entire Dayu region, there were no more than 20 universe gods in the second heaven, and universe god Zhuhai was one of them. Did you check it out? Universe god Zhuhai looked down with cold eyes. Yes. A universe god standing above him answered. The divine general who killed Zhuge Qiu is named Jian Wushuang, and he is indeed a universe master who joined Scarlet Island not long ago. In addition, we have confirmed from the Xiu state that Jian Wushuang does have a grievance from our core disciples, and he also admitted to his crime. Zhuge Qiu had planned to bring Jian Wushuang back to our Holy Prefecture. However, Jian Wushuang is so powerful that he killed Zhuge Qiu with a rather strange strike. A universe master killed a universe god near the peak of the first heaven. There seemed to be a blazing flame burning in universe god Zhuhai's eyes, and he then asked, "Who is the core disciple that Jian Wushuang had killed?" The universe god standing below him answered again. We can't tell who the disciple is from the grievance with Jian Wushuang, but according to what the expert of the Xiu state has said, the grievance is extremely strong, so that core disciple must have been killed not long ago. Recently, there is only one core disciple who has been killed, Zhou Shi, your personal disciple. Sure enough, universe god Zhuhai's aura became violent on hearing that answer. Ever since Zhou Shi went to adventure in a secret land under universe god Jin Feng's invitation, she had been missing. I didn't know that she was killed until I found her life core broken several days ago. I tried to ask Jin Feng her whereabouts, but he was killed as well. Since both of them are dead, I could do nothing more about it. It turns out that Zhou Shi did not die in that secret land, but was killed by Jian Wushuang. Now, he's even killed another universe god of our Holy Prefecture. He must die. Kill. When there is a chance, kill Jian Wushuang to avenge the death of my disciple and elder Zhuge. In addition, inform the Golden Sun sect of this matter. Humph. My Holy Prefecture won't be the only one that is anxious to kill Jian Wushuang. The Golden Sun sect also has to get involved in this matter. Universe god Zhuhai ordered them. While universe god Zhuhai was furious, a handsome purple-haired youth in luxurious clothes was sitting cross-legged in a huge cave mansion in front of a stone wall engraved with words. Jian Wushuang? A universe master killed Zhuge Qiu? Zhuge Qiu was very close to being a superior first heaven universe god, but he was actually a good-for-nothing, so killing him was no big deal. I could have killed him with my casual attack. However, universe master Jian Wushuang is powerful. If he passes the god test and becomes a universe god, he will become my opponent. The purple-haired youth muttered with killing intent flashing through his eyes. He was the peerless genius of the Holy Prefecture, universe god Qin Yang. He had never encountered a decent opponent since he started his cultivation. Now, he had finally found a powerful opponent, Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang killed my junior sister, Zhou Shi, so our Holy Prefecture definitely will take revenge on him, but I don't know whether or not he has the chance to die in my hands. Universe god Qin Yang clenched his hands and showed a bloodthirsty smile on his face. On Leopard Print Island, Universe God Chen Luan went over to Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang, the commander has ordered to have you immediately return to the military camp, said Universe God Chen Luan. Okay. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. He knew that those things had been revealed and that the Holy Prefecture would not let it go. If he continued to stay on Leopard Print Island, it would be no different from courting his own death. In that case, I'll leave now. Leopard Print Island now depends on you, Universe God Chen Luan, Jian Wushuang said. Universe God Chen Luan responded with a smile. Don't worry. Only the show state has been competing for Leopard Print Gem Mine with us. The previous fight has terrified them, so they won't return anytime soon. Jian Wushuang did not say anything further before heading for the military camp. As soon as he arrived at the military camp, Jian Wushuang immediately went to visit Commander Man Yi. Jian Wushuang, you killed Zhuge Qiu. Your skills are really good. Commander Man Yi stared at Jian Wushuang as if to completely see through him. Jian Wushuang remained indifferent. It's just a coincidence. A coincidence? Commander Man Yi shook his head and asked, have you ever killed a core disciple of the Holy Prefecture before? Yes. Jian Wushuang admitted it to him. Commander Man Yi laughed. You killed a core disciple of the Holy Prefecture but came to my Scarlet Island to take refuge. You are really smart. Swordsman shrugged his shoulders, but he was quite embarrassed in his heart. Faced with the three hegemons in the Dayu region, he had already provoked the Holy Prefecture and Golden Sun sect, so he had to turn to Scarlet Island. Don't worry. Since you are already one of my people, I'll try my best to protect you, and I won't let the Holy Prefecture touch a hair on your head. Commander Man Yi smiled heartily. Now that these things have happened, the Holy Prefecture is definitely outraged about it. But I don't know what they will do next, so stay in the military camp. You don't have to take any tasks. Let's see what their reaction is. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded and left. Then, he was brought to a banquet by Lin Dong and Mou. Jian Wushuang had been a new divine general for a period of time, and they should have held a banquet to celebrate his promotion. However, that celebration had been delayed because of the urgent task. The other 6 divine generals on Scarlet Island went to the party. Even the 2 first Heaven Universe gods personally attended, which shocked the other divine generals, as their own parties had never attracted the attention of universe gods. It was obvious that Jian Wushuang had a higher status than the other divine generals. You actually killed Zhuge Qiu, who is close to the peak of First Heaven? Lin Dong, Mou, and other divine generals widened their eyes. The number 1 divine general, Hong Shou, was the most astonished. When Commander Man Yi said that he was weaker than Jian Wushuang, Hong Shou was not convinced and challenged Jian Wushuang, but he was defeated. At that time, Jian Wushuang's strength had frustrated him. But now Hong Shou realized that Jian Wushuang had not used his full strength in the fight with him. Jian Wushuang was able to kill universe god Zhuge Qiu. Having such strength, he could kill Hong Shou as easily as pinching an ant. It was not until late at night that this banquet ended. In a pavilion, Jian Wushuang was sitting cross-legged with the Blood Mountain sword floating in front of him. Gu King, you said that the Blood Mountain sword is a sword embryo and its strength improves through fierce battles. I can also fuse my unique skill with the sword embryo to enhance the power of the sword. I've created so many unique skills. But why is the skill unable to merge with the Blood Mountain sword? Jian Wushuang asked with a frown. The Blood Mountain sword was extremely precious. Its improvement not only resulted from continuous fighting, but also from the fusion of unique skills and the sword. After he invented his own unique skill, Jian Wushuang had been trying to fuse it with the sword, but he failed. Gu King then spoke. The Blood Mountain sword is indeed the best sword embryo. You can fuse it with your unique skills as you grow, but you should choose the best skill at each level. Now, the Blood Mountain sword is at the primary stage of the sword embryo, so it's only able to merge with a rank 1 skill, the top one. You have created 3 kinds of swordsmanship, but of those 3 unique skills, even the strongest Chant of Disturbance is just an advanced rank 1 unique skill. Such a unique skill is not qualified to merge with the Blood Mountain sword. Oh! Jian Wushuang was surprised. He only knew that the Blood Mountain sword needed to merge with unique skills to enhance its power, but he did not expect that the Blood Mountain sword had such a high fusion requirement. It means that the power of the Blood Mountain sword can't soar in a short period of time, Jian Wushuang said inwardly. He had just created an advanced rank 1 skill, so he did not know when he would be able to create a superior rank 1 skill, let alone create a supreme one. Take it slow, Gu King said. You have to go step by step, Jian Wushuang. You still have not cultivated for very long, so you have more room for growth. Don't worry. Understood. Jian Wushuang nodded. At this point, Jian Wushuang raised his eyebrows. What's wrong? Asked Gu King. A powerful aura has broken into the scope of my soul power, and this aura is very strange. It's obviously not from any universe gods of our Scarlet Island. Jian Wushuang responded in a low voice. Everyone from Scarlet Island possessed the aura from their ID tokens, but Jian Wushuang had not sensed this kind of aura before. Naturally, whoever was coming was not from the island. What a nice concealment skill. The intruder was trespassing on our Scarlet Island, but none of the universe gods discovered it. If I didn't possess the soul power, I'm afraid that would not have sensed it either. Jian Wushuang sighed. No, this intruder is coming after me. Jian Wushuang sensed that the aura's owner had quietly accelerated and was rushing in his direction. However, the experts from Scarlet Island had not discovered anyone breaking into the island. Jian Wushuang, run, Gu King shouted. I understand. Jian Wushuang wore a solemn expression while dashing out and shouting, Commander, come and help. It sounded harsh in the silent night. The military camp of Scarlet Island was shaken by this scream. Jian Wushuang had displayed the Dragon Blood secret skill, causing his speed to burst out. Now he was fleeing in the direction of Commander Man-Yi. At the sight of this, the intruder in a golden robe frowned. The boy has sensed my arrival? After he realized that he had been exposed, the intruder turned into a flowing light and started chasing after Jian Wushuang at full speed. Jian Wushuang tried his best to run, but the golden flowing light was approaching him at an astonishing speed. Blaze Quicksand Realm, come out! Jian Wushuang immediately took out the Blaze Quicksand Gourd. The endless Blaze Quicksand swept out, flooding the sky, and formed a vast realm to oppress the golden flowing light. He thought that it would create some obstacles for the intruder, but in fact the Blaze Quicksand Realm did not work on the golden flowing light. So fast and brilliant strength. Jian Wushuang was terrified. He realized that his opponent was a powerful second heaven universe god. Otherwise, the Blaze Quicksand Realm would have had some influence on his opponent. Swoosh! Swoosh! The two figures flew swiftly across the sky, which was particularly dazzling in the dark night. However, it only lasted for a breath's worth of time before the intruder suddenly stopped. Commander Man-Yi and 4 universe gods of Scarlet Island had arrived, while the former had already blocked the intruder. Buzz! As the golden flowing light dissipated, a golden-robed figure slowly emerged. It was a skinny elder with blonde hair. He looked weak, but with endless cold light in his eyes. He was radiating a powerful aura that was superior to Commander Man-Yi's. Commander Man-Yi was second only to the Lord of Scarlet Island. He was also a second heaven universe god, but he could not match this skinny elder. Golden Sun Sect Master. You came here. Commander Man-Yi stared at the skinny elder with a blaze of fury in his eyes. With grim faces, the other 4 universe gods also considered the elder. If any other expert unscrupulously intruded into their military camp, they would have definitely killed him without saying a word. But this intruder was the master of the Golden Sun Sect. The master of the Golden Sun Sect was a superior second heaven universe god. Even if Commander Man-Yi and the other 4 universe gods worked together, they could barely compete with him. And naturally, it was impossible to kill him. Therefore, Commander Man-Yi knew that he was unable to fight against him. Upon hearing this, Jian Wushuang was dumbfounded. This man is the Golden Sun Sect Master? He tried to assassinate me in such a shameful way? Sent a chill down Jian Wushuang's spine. Fortunately, Jian Wushuang had ignited the soul fire, and his soul power was amazing, so he had discovered his arrival in advance. Otherwise, he would have already been killed. After all, He only had the battle strength of an advanced first heaven universe god. Even if he exerted his full strength to display stars, he would be able to fight against a superior first heaven universe god at most. His strength was nothing when compared with the Golden Sun sect master. At the same time, Jian Wushuang immediately figured out why the Golden Sun sect master had come. For the monarch of the Jin kingdom? Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes. The military camp was brightly lit as a large number of sergeants gathered around them but did not dare to approach closer. Commander Man Yi and the 4 universe gods confronted the Golden Sun sect master at a distance. Commander! Jian Wushuang appeared beside Man Yi. Jian Wushuang, are you okay? Asked Commander Man Yi. Jian Wushuang replied gratefully, Luckily, you came in time. I thought that only the Holy Prefecture wants to kill you, so I did not expect the Golden Sun sect to get involved in this matter. Commander Man Yi's face fell. Jian Wushuang. The Golden Sun sect master glanced at Jian Wushuang, his eyes radiating a faint golden light. Before he arrived, he had already received Jian Wushuang's portrait, so he recognized him on sight. He actually discovered me in advance? The Golden Sun sect master was quite puzzled. His concealment skill was brilliant. After he intruded into Scarlet Island, even Man Yi, a second heaven universe god, had not perceived his arrival in time, but Jian Wushuang had. Golden Sun sect master, you broke into my place to sneakily attack one of our universe masters. Shame on you. Commander Man Yi's voice echoed. Each of the cultivators from Scarlet Island was full of anger. In their eyes, it was brazen for the Golden Sun sect master with such a prominent status to launch a sneak attack on a universe master. Nevertheless, the Golden Sun sect master replied with a careless expression. Shame? This world only respects strength. Jian Wushuang should be proud of being killed by me. Oh, unfortunately, you have miscalculated. Commander Man Yi responded with an icy smile. The sect master sighed. Actually, I didn't expect for the boy's psychic ability to be so good that he would able to sense my arrival in advance. It seems impossible to kill him today. Golden Sun sect master. There has always been an intense rivalry between your sect and our Scarlet Island. Jian Wushuang is really a brilliant genius, but he has not dealt a blow to your Golden Sun sect. You don't have to personally come to assassinate him. Tell me, what is your purpose today? Commander Man Yi shouted. My purpose? The Golden Sun sect master replied with a frosty look. Obviously, because of him. The Golden Sun sect master pointed at Jian Wushuang as he asked in a grim tone, Jian Wushuang, how did Jin Feng die? Jin Feng. Everyone was stunned. They all knew that Jin Feng, the monarch of the Jin kingdom, was an ordinary universe god, but his status in the Golden Sun sect was quite special. There was a rumor that Jin Feng was the younger brother of the Golden Sun sect master, although neither of them had ever publicly admitted it. Jin Feng is dead? Commander Man Yi was astonished and then growled, Golden Sun sect master. We all know that Jin Feng and you had a close relationship, but does his death have any kind of relationship to our island and Jian Wushuang? Of course. The sect master said. Not long ago, Jin Feng invited Zhou Shi to go to a secret land. But Jin Feng and Zhou Shi died there one after the other and none of their underlings came back alive. No one knows the reason for their deaths. I sent my people to investigate this matter, but they found nothing. That is, until yesterday, when I received a message from the Holy Prefecture. The Holy Prefecture concluded that Jian Wushuang killed Zhou Shi. Commander Man Yi and the other universe gods looked at each other with frowns. Jian Wushuang? The Golden Sun sect master looked over at the boy and asked, Did you kill Zhou Shi? Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded directly. He knew he was unable to defend himself because of the curse power. Then, the Golden Sun sect master asked, And what about Jin Feng? Did you kill him as well? He thought that Jian Wushuang had the power to kill an advanced First Heaven Universe god. Therefore, he could have killed Jin Feng. Jin Feng? What Jin Feng? Jian Wushuang shook his head. I killed a core disciple from the Holy Prefecture, but I have never heard of the Jin Feng that you speak of. Boy, you lie. The sect master shouted in his sternest voice. Jin Feng and Zhou Shi went to the secret land together and died there. And since you killed Zhou Shi, how could you not know Jin Feng? Jian Wushuang said indifferently, Golden Sun sect master. I really don't know who you are talking about. I met Zhou Shi in a dark void, instead of a secret land. At that time, I had just left my hometown, so I was energetic and eager to fight an expert from the eternal chaotic world. The first cultivator I met was Zhou Shi. I recognized that she was a universe master, so I challenged her and killed her. That's all. Jian Wushuang explained it with a calm look and seemingly told the truth. He was unwilling to confess that he had killed Jin Feng. He had a powerful opponent, the Holy Prefecture, so he did not want any more. More importantly, he was worried that Commander Man Yi and the other universe masters were unable to withstand the attacks from the Golden Sun sect master. At such a critical moment, he had better not provoke the Golden Sun sect master again. Upon hearing this, the Golden Sun sect master frowned. Commander Man Yi also spoke. Golden Sun sect master, you said Jin Feng died before Zhou Shi, so there was a gap between their deaths, right? The Golden Sun sect master's face fell.